No, it's because of the stupid smoke outside. My nose is always stuffed. Therefore, there's always like just stuff coming down.
Why is it that I'm not affected by the smoke?
Because you don't have a sensitive nose.
Is it because my mother breastfed me?
Yes.
And I wasn't a C-section baby? I embraced hardship and pressure?
Yes. You didn't, if you were, oh yeah, exactly. You didn't embrace pressure. Pressure, if you were.
Yeah.
Came out of the old vaginal canal.
The old vag. Not my mom was old vag, but just the old vag.
Sure.
I don't know how many people are going to be like, I don't know if I want to listen to this podcast right now.
So we're going to talk about birth stories today.
Yeah. You want to talk about vaginal tearing?
Yeah. Let's continue this.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you why my kids have Viking genes.
Yeah.
It's because the Vikings
They come out
invade.
tearing-ish up.
We can bleep it out if you want. So you can say the full word if you want. This is
They tear it up.
This is an after-hours podcast.
We have 8.5-pound babies that come at 38 weeks.
I don't make no keto babies. The chromosomes that I shoot out
Even
are...
our daughter.
She's a Viking. Your pelvis wouldn't have dilated, remember? She wouldn't turn.
Yeah. That girl is stubborn.
Should have called her Xena, warrior princess, or Helga.
Yeah, Helga.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
Harper Helga.
Today's a special episode because today's the first episode I'm not wearing a hat.
Ooh.
Number one.
Because somebody got a haircut.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to...
Roosters
in Boise.
Roosters in Boise.
Or Meridian, somewhere.
Yeah. Second special event is I am wearing pants.
Yes.
Because fall.
Because hashtag fall vibes.
Fall vibes. I have a... Well, we can maybe possibly edit this in. We can, instead of this Kirkland Signature purified water, it would be a pumpkin spice latte.
I like it.
You
need a scarf.
I have an infinity scarf.
You need some Ugg boots.
I have Ugg boots. I have the classic updo, which is...
messy bun.
Messy bun.
Yes.
I
bun.
have the... what's that brand? What's that another REI brand that... the...
Columbia?
No, not Columbia. What's the other? North Face. I have the North Face fleece.
I
have leggings on right now.
The leggings of the North Face and Uggs. For sure.
To you girls, you guys always say you guys wear that or wore that when that was popular. Because
I don't think I ever did, though.
Because you guys are comfortable.
I did have the North Face fleece.
Sure. Did you ever do that combination?
No.
Though?
I was never comfortable
in
leggings.
You never hit all three bingos. You never did the...
No, I had those all three at separate times in my life. So I had the Uggs when I was like 16. They were like light pink. And then I had the North Face fleece when I was like 19, 20. But I never wore that combination.
You never did in combination?
Well, because I was never comfortable. I always thought it was so... I never wore leggings unless it covered like mid-thigh. Unless I had a shirt that covered mid-thigh. Because I always thought it was so weird that you can like... The whole camel toe thing and just... ugh. Like, I couldn't do it.
So...
And I also like...
Tell me about camel toe because... By the way, that should be a clip where I just go, tell me about camel toe.
Also, we should title this episode Camel
Kyle,
Toe.
if you could edit this where I start the podcast with, tell me about camel toe. Okay, so one thing I can't wrap my mind around, and it's not that I've been losing sleep about it, but the fact that you mentioned
You probably
this,
have, though.
Right, tossing and turning, is, okay, so camel toe, I get the premise of camel toe and where it comes from and how it exists.
Well, for those who don't know what it is, tell them.
Do you want me to tell them or do you want to tell them?
Well, I want to hear what your...
The problem is if I explain I have to explain it because I know our listeners are a mixture of your audience and my audience. My audience doesn't care how I talk. Your audience does because I've made a fool of myself on my channels, and
I'm still going strong.
You're very PG-13.
PG, probably.
You are like the preacher's daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're
totally.
very.
I'm like Disney.
You're Disney
Channel,
Plus.
Disney Channel.
Camel toe. I want to figure out if I could. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm explaining this to like if one of our kids.
Like scientifically.
Well, like let's say Jack, who's our oldest, and let's say he's like,
tell
at
him.
this point, he's, at what age do you think he'd be curious? Like 10, 11, 12?
About girls?
No, about what camel toe is. Like he would hear that word. Like so.
You think you would hear it at that age? I don't know.
11. He'd definitely hear it at 11.
I didn't
Especially
hear it until
boys.
I was like.
Yeah, but you also.
That's also a new trend.
I could tell a person does cocaine from like a mile away, and you just think they have like runny noses or.
It's 100% true.
Yeah, postnasal drip.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, so let's say Jack is like 11 years old, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I heard like my friends they said a word, I just didn't know what it meant, and what, dude, hey, bud, what did they say? Well, they were like camel toe, and then they laughed, but I didn't think what was funny. And Dad, what's camel toe? And I feel like
you can tell them it's a camel's toe.
No, I'm not gonna lie to my kid. I would say. You know when your mom wears leggings? I'm kidding. No. I would.
Have I ever had?
No, you've never had. Which is funny that you just said that. How about no?
On a podcast.
So I'll describe what it is, and then I'm gonna follow up with another question because I still don't understand certain things in our culture about it. Okay, so camel toe is when a gal. Did she choose not to wear undergarment, or is that a not related?
I think sometimes they are.
You can even have an undergarment. Okay, so let's put it this way.
Are we from the 1900s?
Okay, so I'll put it this way. Sometimes it's more prevalent with people with certain types of anatomy, right? So like some guys might have big feet. Some gals might have a very defined southern region. Okay. How do I put this?
So this will go back.
Listen, I have a background. I have a background in healthcare. Okay, so there's been
all the words.
I see that we're all created differently. There have been plenty of overdoses in the ER that I've had to be present, and I'm not happy about it.
That's a good way of saying we're all created differently.
We're all created differently. You know, some people have big feet. Some people have large teeth. Some people have extra curtain at a school play. I don't know.
Extra curtain.
Well, no, but like that's the reality. Like that's like everybody's different. Everybody's different. So I think the way I describe that is because everybody's created differently. Your nether regions. If you were to either sometimes wear underwear, sometimes decide to not wear underwear for whatever reason as a female, and you're wearing a very thin material for what you would describe as pants, leggings in the situation, they would create a silhouette of your no-no zone. So that's the way I would describe as a camel toe.
Yeah.
And if you need a little bit more descriptive take your index finger and your middle finger and create a knuckle together, and there is that's a good place to start.
Like thin material is like tight. So when you wear really, really tight jeans, sometimes it's even jeans, sometimes it's leggings. It creates So there's too much. It's very defined.
Okay, well, and that's fine. But my question is that still true if the undergarments are being worn? Like if a gal is wearing you could still get it. So it's not.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression like, hey, okay.
Because I feel like there's been a couple times after pregnancy where I'll try to put on my jeans and I'm wearing undergarments, if you will.
Sure, if you were a Mormon.
Mr. Build It Talk.
I'm trying to be like as sex ed as possible.
And I've noticed because it's like how high you hike up your jeans too. Like if they're like.
You could see it in jeans?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have never. I will go on the record.
Pull up camel toe on Google and you will see.
Lady, I have a filter on my phone. I'm not typing in.
Do you have a filter?
This also seems like a trap where you're like, hey, babe, or you type in camel toe.
See what happens.
Put in CAM and see if Google autocorrects it.
Yeah. Oh, you recently looked up this.
Yeah. Did you mean to spell Camaro or camel?
Yeah.
No. So, man, we were like this close to titling this episode as camel toe.
I know. If 5 more minutes, then we might as well.
Might as well.
I was always very aware and like nervous about that when I wore leggings. So I always had like
I'm surprised
that were like mid thigh. But I also, I've told you, and people who don't know, I don't know. This is like too forward. I guess I
We
should put
had
it out there.
2 episodes ago. I had an ice pack on my testicles
that's
talking
true.
about.
But
how,
I struggled with my weight for a long time.
Yeah.
In my teenage years, and so I was very uncomfortable wearing anything that was like too revealing or might show off too much. And so a lot of but even now I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just wear like leggings with like a t-shirt or something that was like
But you
short
do that. But you do.
at home.
You do.
I do.
You do. You came back from staging yesterday and you wore like a t-shirt that was like at your waistband and your leggings.
I wasn't wearing leggings. Those were workout pants.
That's another thing that I need to ask a definition what is the difference between leggings, workout pants, and spandex?
Not much, but I will say leggings and workout pants are a lot thicker. So you don't.
Okay.
They feel like you're wearing like almost like pants.
So they're more
thick.
forgiving.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't see all these like defined.
Sure.
Like you would totally see the difference between if I wore leggings with a t-shirt.
Okay.
And versus my workout pants.
Okay. So great. We just define what workout pants are.
But yoga pants and workout pants, it's the same thing.
Leggings and
So leggings are like they're like that like really thin spandexy material versus like workout pants are just thicker, and I don't know, the material is a little bit different.
So are you comparing workout pants
to leggings?
Okay, so here's what I don't understand is why are the creators of all of those things haven't figured out a way how to maybe create a little bit, I don't know, maybe a few extra millimeters of padding that like
for leggings.
Leggings, workout pants, or whatever. Like I would imagine. Okay, if tomorrow we did an episode where what's that movie where like the two best friends they switch bodies or something like that. Freaky Friday. So like if today we're recording on a Friday, this episode's going to be released on a Tuesday. If we Freaky Friday tonight, we should.
We will.
I think. I would need a first hour to figure this out, what to do with this thing. But like, I would also imagine that, there would be the article of clothing that okay, for example, the classic bra. I'm sure that one of the earlier stages of the bra development, no matter what kind of bra you're wearing, you could probably see like somebody nippling out, right?
You still can.
Well, sure, unless their nipples are like 12 inches long, like, and that's not forgiving. But for the most part, for the average human being who doesn't take any kind of steroids, I would, that's forgiving. I would imagine that would create spandex leggings and workout pants that are forgiving in that region as well.
They do.
Throw a pad in there. Throw a maxi pad in there. Why don't girls do that?
Like. Just for fun?
Not for fun, not because it feels good, but like for the sake of concealing.
No, because you'd be able to see it in yoga pants or leggings.
The maxi pad itself?
Yes.
Oh.
I think I will say the more expensive leggings and yoga pants you get, probably the more forgiving they are.
Oh, interesting.
It's a cheap, like really thin material that gets you in trouble.
So you guys need like body armor.
Yes.
Here's another question I have, and I don't know if I ever asked any of my guy friends about this, is I still can't figure out if the stigma of like camel toe, like when somebody says camel toe, are you supposed to react as a guy, not as a girl, but as a guy? I still don't know. Are you supposed to react in a, ooh, camel toe, kind of like cleavage, right? Like, oh, cleavage, right? Or are you supposed to react in a little bit disgust where you're like, ugh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't answer that for guys.
Listen, as the 32
for girls, it's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
I would be horrified.
Is it the same horrification as
I
like
saw a picture of myself?
Horrification. I don't know if it's horrification. I think the girl is too horrified already. But so is it the same horrified as if it's like, let's say one of your close friends is like throwing too much cleavage.
By cleavage, yeah.
Right, but that's my question: is that on the same line? Like,
no, it's worse.
Okay,
because like everybody has some cleavage now and then. Like obviously, some people like it, some people don't. But to me personally, I've always been like, yeah, like if I saw a picture of myself with camel toe, I would be mortified.
Well, I get that part, right? Like it's the same thing as like, Although as a guy, I don't think as a guy.
It's like if you were wearing jeans
and you got a
could
bulge.
see your not even bulge, but like the outline of your testicles.
Oh, I would be proud.
That's true. For
No,
guys,
because for a guy, it's like, listen, if you can
see the bulge, it's saying something.
It's saying something. Your troops have made it. Your troops have made it past the enemy lines, past the frontline arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're like, listen,
they're in it.
You've seen a lot of horrific things, and you're here. Like,
well done.
You've won. Well done.
Yes.
We support our troops.
Yes.
So that's the way, like, as a guy would see it. As a gal, like, I've never actually asked this.
But
question.
this is me. Like, I can't speak for everybody else.
You're a pretty modest gal. Like, you're very modest with cleavage. You're very modest with of a lot of things. But I'm just like in society, like even amongst my friends, I don't know if I've ever brought that up. Like, I don't know if I still understand if camel toe is like oh dude, check it out, camel toe, or is like, oh dude,
oh my gosh,
this girl. And there's another thing. There's a small part of me, again, I feel like I need to do like sex ed as a 32-year-old, like back in middle school or something like that, because I have like, I think when you are in middle school or high school, you're embarrassed to ask a lot of these questions from your home ec teacher who's leading the sex ed class. That I feel like now I'd have some pretty solid questions where I would be like, hey, camel toe. Like, should I be excited about it? Should I, like, where does that stand?
Should I be excited
and also, does camel toe, is that indicative of a gal who is, what's the word that I'm going to look for? That gets passed around, or a gal who is a lady of the night, or in the Bible Belt, a hure, you know, or a sleut, if you will, you know.
A hure.
So I don't know. So these are the questions that I want to ask from my home ec teacher.
But why does it even matter to you anymore?
It does not. It's just in conversations, I guess. So
you don't want to see like the odd guy out?
When I'll see a meme online and they'll be like, hey, the fall's around the corner, you know what that means, and it's like pumpkin spice lattes, leggings,
right.
And there'll be a picture of like a camel or something like that. And I know where the premise of the joke is, but I don't know if it's like, oh, I get it because camel toes are sexy.
I think for the most part, I would not describe them as sexy. Unless you think so.
I think, well, listen, I've never had to sit down and talk about it, but I would say if you ask an average 12-year-old boy, they'd be like, if that's a way for me to see it without seeing it, then sign me up.
Less imagination.
Well, that's, you know what I mean? Like when you're 12, like you can go to the library and have somebody draw a picture of a vagina and you're like, oh, dude. You know what I mean?
Excited about it?
Yeah. 12-year-old boys are just disgusting.
So
They'll take anything. So a silhouette, you know, a black and white image, you know, you can fold your hands like this and be like, vagina, right? And you're like, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll take anything at this point. My body's got hormones. I don't know what to do with it.
I
don't know what to do with it. Yeah. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, I guess.
Maybe you should, you know, in like 4-5 years when Jack is, what is he in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, so he's 7 now, +7 or +5.
He'll be like 12.
Sure.
Yeah. When he's in that,
what you're saying, I should go to his class. I should go observe at their class and be that one parent who keeps asking questions.
The awkward parent.
Yeah. Parent. So they go. So like the teacher, and that is in kids, and that is how
babies are made.
Babies are made, and that is what coitus looks like between a man and a woman. Do you guys have any questions? And like, boom, right off the gate, I'm like in the bag, like, hey, quick questions. Okay, so camel toes.
Listen.
What do we think about it?
Yes. Yay, nay.
Yay or nay. Yeah. So.
We get excited. We get.
What do we do? What do we do with them? Yeah. No, it's an unanswered question.
That's an interesting conversation that we've never had before. Now we've had it on a recorded podcast.
That will live forever on the internet. Cool. That your mom, the podcast that your mom listens to.
That my mom listens to. Hi, Mom.
Cool.
Hi, Olga.
Which yeah, shout out to Olga.
Hope you're listening.
Yeah, no, I guess we need to now create polls. Camel toes. What do we think about
guys, what do you think about them? Should we have like a comment section?
Oh, well, there is a comment section.
That I don't read.
Yeah, you shouldn't. No, everybody's nice. Everybody's nice. So far.
So far, so good.
So today's a great topic to get into because last episode we.
How long did we just talk about camel toe for, by the way?
Great question. 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yes, 20 minutes of camel toe. 20 minutes of camel toe, which is great. So last episode we talked about starting a segment where people can send in submissions to hello@thenextdoorneighbors.com of any kind of awkward spaces. And you and I would kind of shoot from the hip just to see what we would do. Because we get this often where people DM you or me on our social media profiles. And frankly, to be honest with you guys, sometimes we don't want to answer them because we know it's going to be just too long of a conversation, and the amount of DMs you get, you kind of get lost in it. So when somebody says, "Hey, what do you think I should do with this awkward space?" You're like, "Listen, I would do this and another thing," and then there'd be a follow-up question, and then back and forth, and next thing you know, you're spending 8 hours of your day just reading your DMs, and it's just
hard. It's hard to answer all of them.
It's not that we get that many, but it becomes unproductive, and so we thought it would be a really fun way to tie into this show with your background and my background.
That way we can answer some of those.
Create engagement.
And DMs, like writing things out just takes so long. But being able to talk through it on a podcast, and maybe like somebody else has a space that's similar, and they can like relate to it. And I think it's a great way to answer some questions without having to respond like in written form.
Sure, I got to put in my password here. The password is camel toe.
It should be with a capital C and a capital T.
And we'll pull these pictures up on the video portion of the podcast if you guys want to watch that on the YouTube channel is called Next Door Neighbors. Anywho, so we have a few submissions. We got a few submissions. We'll pull them all up on the screen. So the first submission, it says, "Hello, my name is Jose, and we are in Nampa, Idaho." These are really close here next to where we live. Idaho residents. "This is a great debate between my wife and I. We have an accent wall that is in our dining area. I think it looks too blank, but my wife thinks it should be blank. Let's see here. How would you guys decorate said wall? Thanks. P.S. I know the light fixture is horrid. We will replace it soon." Okay, so
let's see it.
Okay, so here is
so space. It looks like it's a wall that has wood
planks. Yep.
Which is like an accent wall.
Yep.
Which is funny not funny, but kind of funny to me because we had an accent wall like this in one of our houses. I made that accent wall out of a fence. One of the first, I feel like DIY projects, or
very
you did.
First. Yep.
Yeah.
Before YouTube.
It's kind of cool to see
this
that
piece.
Come back. Yeah.
This piece. By the way, if you guys ever want to do, here's a little pro tip. If you guys ever want to do an accent wall, barnwood-ish look, if you have a fence in your backyard, and if you live in a house that is at least 5 to 10 years old, where your fence is no longer brown, but the sprinklers hit it, the sun hit it, and it's like gray.
Yeah.
And if you take those planks
10.
off, you can use that, and then obviously go to the hardware store and buy new planks to make it look brown if you want to. But you can use those planks as an accent piece for a wall to give it that barnwood look. So if you're like, I want to make a barnwood wall, you can do that on the cheap. Natural, El Natural. Okay, so
on the cheap.
Big question he's asking. We have this.
Well, it's funny too because
wall,
we had the same slant.
Same wall. Yeah, no, so it's a very similar.
It's like
wall.
Bringing me back.
And it's this dining area. Obviously, you can see there's is that a shelving unit? He said obviously they're gonna change the chandelier or the light fixture, which you should make it more modern. I'll go first, then you go. Okay, so you can either add or change what I would do. I think that's the best way to do it. Okay, so me personally, first of all, I like the color.
Yeah.
I like that it's barnwood. I think if you keep the chandelier as is right now, it looks blank and dated. I think if you create a modern chandelier, like one of those like drop down and then those poles come out and a light fixture on the end, I think we have one in our main area. I think it would give it that really cool West Elm kind of feel and look.
It's an artistic piece at that point.
Yeah, at that point. And I think that color really makes it. Personally, let me get a little better look. I think maybe because the way the angle is, I would here's what I would do personally. I would get rid of, and I also, we don't want to disrespect anybody in their space, so please don't be offended if we want to say, hey, get rid of this or this other thing. We're just shooting from the hip of like what we would do if we walked in the space, right? So personally, what I would do is I'd get rid of that little shelving nightstand thing on the left, get rid of that. I would obviously upgrade, like you mentioned, your light fixture. Also, your dining room table, I would get a dining room table that has that farmhousey feel, not to match the same color as the wall. Maybe get to more like a grayer kind of look of a farmhousey dining room table. Make it nice and grand where it takes up almost the entire wall space. Have the light fixture, modern fixture, drop down, nice and modern. And I think at that point, I don't think you need anything to be hanging on the wall, me personally. What do you think, Mrs. M?
I agree. I think if you get a really cool light fixture, chandelier, that's going to be your statement piece. So you really don't need anything on the wall, especially if you lower it a little bit. And it will be like centered on the wall.
Drop it down, yeah.
Drop it, yeah. And that will be like almost like an art piece.
So you don't have to almost fill anything on the back.
And I agree. I think it should be one that like there's some cool ones on Wayfair, West Elm. If you're looking for something like a good price, Wayfair has a lot of really cool chandeliers. I think that's where we got our front entry.
What did you pay for it? Under 200?
Under 2 for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so, yeah, not a decent price, and it looks really cool, and it gives that like kind of modern touch, I guess, even if you have more farmhousey things. If you decide to do something really simple with a chandelier, I think the wall itself is like already a statement piece. It's almost like if you did art or something on it. The only thing I would do if you still feel like it's feeling blank and you did a really simple chandelier, you could do like a really, really simple like piece of art that's like black and white and super simple.
But it have to be big, right?
Yeah, like a big, like either 2 side by side or 1 big one. But even then, yeah, I think once you do get a different chandelier, that's going to be your statement piece.
Yeah, chandelier height is very important.
Yes.
And then nice grand table, and all of a sudden your chandelier table and the table centerpiece or decor of it.
Yes, and that's another thing. Yes,
yeah.
And that's another thing. If you get like a little bit longer table that takes up most of the wall lengthwise or widthwise, I guess.
Oh, widthwise. Yeah, I would say widthwise of the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, of the wall. And then you have your chandelier, which is grand, and then you get like a centerpiece with like greenery that comes up and is really tall. That will be your like art pieces.
That's great.
You won't even need anything.
Yeah, and
because you don't want to overdo on the wall either, because you already have the wood planks. I think adding anything onto it might be just like a little too much, especially if you're going to change out.
And the last thing I'd add, not to spend too much time on one of these submissions, is if you really want to go the extra mile and make it kind of feel grand on the back and like more inviting from the front, is if you put like let's say nice big table, big chairs on the back, two big chairs on the side, and then on the very front of it, instead of chairs there, have a bench there. So it looks open and grand and it fills in that wall and it's inviting to the table. That's the setup that we have in our area that we have. And
I love the bench look. Yeah. And honestly, if it seems like there's a gap between the dining table and the actual wall, if there's like a big gap space between it, you can even get like a narrow console table that's the length of the dining table and put stuff on it.
There you go.
Instead of that little
nightstand looking thing.
But that's
great.
Kind of what I think I would do.
But that's a great looking wall. So that's a great.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to see something that we've done.
We've done for sure. All right. So this next one. Oh, sorry, this image is like huge. Let me find the text here. All right, Alex. We are planning to rip out all of the cabinets in our kitchen and replace them. Sorry, my contact is drying up. Replace them. But we...
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, please. But we hope to determining if we should...
Let me read it.
She knows. No, my contacts are dried up.
English is hard.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, we are planning to rip out all of the cabinets in our kitchen and replace them, but we need help determining if we should close an outside door that we seldom use. The door is on the side of the house, and we have a front door and 2 back doors to the house. We have lived here 26 years, and I doubt that we have used the door 26 times. We want to add an island in the kitchen and remove all the tall cabinet that you see in the picture that houses the oven and the microwave. The tall cabinet is in front of the door that we are thinking of closing, and the island would replace this tall cabinet. Our concern is, how do we make the outside of the house look decent if we close in the door?
Got it.
The house is about 45 years old, so we would never be able to match the bricks. Could we make something that looks like a shutter to cover the door on the outside, or do you guys have any other suggestions?
Okay. So we have a couple of images here. Again, we'll show them all online.
So here's the outside. Yep. There's the door.
It looks like a classic.
It's a cute door.
It's a cute door.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking brick. It looks like a very main entrance, but he said they seldom use it, so it doesn't sound. So it sounds like a side door entrance.
So this is a side door on top of 2 back doors and a front door. Yeah.
Okay. Here is the door from the inside. Here's the cabinet they're talking about getting rid of, right?
This one,
that's the cabinet there, okay?
So where this,
it's like a divider.
So right here, this
okay.
is the cabinet. Which I agree with. I think that's a great idea, right off the bat, to remove that tall cabinet, because it looks like it's closing off that kitchen a lot. And if you add just an island, it's gonna open up that kitchen tremendously.
Yeah, for sure.
And it will look, awesome.
I don't know how to unselect that. There you go.
Got it.
Okay, so yes. First, go ahead. Do you want to do your run first?
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's
off the bat, the tall cabinet, right?
Yeah.
Making an island from that,
I
think is a great idea. Sorry,
for sure.
Kind of away from the mic.
Yeah. No, great. No, absolutely. You're already on the same page. Get rid of that. Create an island. Make it more welcoming, more open. And the nice thing about it is, the majority of stuff is it's built kind of like a raised bar islands or peninsulas, where you have a higher tier and a lower tier. But really, the stuff that's right in behind the sink, that's your studs. Those are your studs that are going straight in the wall, and everything else is built out. So what I mean by it is, it's studs, and then to the studs they usually attach the cabinets that you see there, and
it's
then
not hard to do, is
pillar.
What you're saying.
Yeah, it's not difficult at all, as long as this pillar right here is not a load-bearing thing. If you have an upstairs, which it looked like a single-story house, so probably not, but double check that to make sure. Definitely
load-bearing wall.
Cut that out, separate out. We've done that. The peninsula situation. Cut the peninsula out. Make a bar or island, even if it's a smaller island, but as long as you can have a walk around, it's very inviting. It's very open
and convenient. Having an island where you can walk in from both sides, has been crazy convenient for us, because we did the same thing. We had a peninsula, and once we got the island, it was raised too.
Yes.
It's crazy how much it opened up the space, and it will do that here.
And now that I'm looking at this other image, this looks like the backside of that thing.
Part of it,
So I would probably bank that this is not even a load bearing, because you see an oven and a range behind it. So if I was to put my money at, probably not load bearing. So you'd have to reconstruct where you would put your oven and your range. But your big question is about that door. So yes, you're on the right track. You're making more open that door. Yes, you would have a very difficult time matching that brick. Now, here's my submission for it. I would take that door out, and I'd close it up with brick. Whatever shape that you can get it to match in size, I would go with that. Don't even bother with shutters. Shutters sound like a...
Yeah, I don't know if that would look good.
Shutters, like, there's nothing worse than somebody's trying to disguise something to make it look like something else, like a false window or something like that. Don't do that. What I would do personally, if this is my house, I would rip out the door, put brick all the way up, and then here's what I would do. I would paint the brick.
That's what I was gonna. That was my idea.
Now, I wouldn't paint the brick, because you want to stay as close to that era of that house, right, without taking too much away. Like, you don't want to take a 50-year-old house and try to make it like it's a house that was built like last year.
Yeah.
You want to still stay, at the very least, stay in like the farmhousey zone. So what I would do is I would do like a white lime wash or whatever they call it on that brick where it's got a white mixed with a little bit of gray, like the distress feeling.
Like the distressed look. Yeah,
absolutely.
That was gonna be my advice too, is do the brick on top and then just paint it. Yep. Because I feel like that's the only way you can get away with closing off the door on the outside.
Yep.
The inside will be fine.
Yep.
Whatever you decide to do, but the outside.
Or even on top of that, what you should also do possibly is close that brick off halfway. So I already see you have windows there. You have one window there and you have another 2 windows on the side. Maybe even close it up to the height of the nearest window on our right as you took the picture. And that way when you paint it off, first of all, you have the windows, so you have the light in that room. Because here's another thing is when you cover it up, your next problem is going to be that sidewalk. And though you could possibly make it to be a functional thing where you're like, oh, maybe we could take this to walk around the other side of the house, the sidewalk makes it look like, hey, everything's pointing to here as if there was supposed to be a door, but there's no door here. There's going to be a little bit of an awkward space.
Yeah, unless you just close it off with more grass.
So what I would do is I would take a jackhammer, rent a jackhammer at Tate's Rents. It's going to cost you like $60 or something like that. Destroy that sidewalk with a jackhammer is going to take you like 45 minutes. Take it to the dump, throw it out or bury it somewhere. Plant extra sod, have the grass fill in, keep the sidewalk up to here. Keep the sidewalk in the back right there, and then maybe put like a raised garden bed or something like that, and or maybe extend those bushes if you really want to do that. But that's what I would do. That way it would blend in the area, and it would like make it look nice, and you can do your open kitchen.
And then you could, once you do that, because I think the other thing you were saying is the reason they wanted to close off this door is to extend this out, which I think will look great, especially if you have an island, and it will give you more cabinet space or countertop space.
Absolutely.
Which is always a good thing.
Always a win. You can never have too many cabinets, I feel like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Countertop space for sure.
Awesome. Barney, thanks for your submission. All right.
Hope that wasn't too much.
Yeah, sorry. I tear down the house. I'm kidding. Yeah. All right. This one's from Julia Holmes. All right. Here, you read because you're better at reading. And I'm
okay. Hi, Alex and Irina. I've watched your YouTube video for a while now and just recently discovered you're a fellow Boisean. I have an awkward space in my 1962 Boise bench home. The builders put the utilities and laundry smack dab in the middle of the kitchen, and it's always a disaster to keep organized. Do you have any ideas how I can make the space more attractive? I used to put curtains over it, but took them down as I didn't know how it looked. I recently remodeled the kitchen completely, and I'm just at a loss on how to make this space look good and still be useful.
All right, let's take a look at it.
So this is her space.
Do you think it's a single story or is this in a basement?
Well, this is her kitchen.
Look. So it's not the basement kitchen. It's like a
this
main.
Is like the main kitchen.
Main kitchen.
So she said.
So it's probably a single story then.
She said.
Can we do the thing where it doesn't select it?
I don't know why it keeps doing that. So it says that the builder put the smack dab in the middle of the kitchen. So this is the main kitchen.
Okay. So here. All right. So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go?
This is a tricky one because I've never seen this before. Mm-hmm. Have you?
Not in the kitchen. We lived in a tri-level before. Mm-hmm. Not a split level, but a tri-level.
It's a little bit different.
And split levels is there's a full staircase. When you walk into the front door, you have a choice to go up or down. That's a tri-level. Split level is when you walk in, your first choice is you're on the ground floor, and then after that, there's like a step down. And
there was 2 steps down
after you're already in the first floor.
Yeah, so it's like not really. And then there's an upstairs.
Yeah,
too.
And so once you do the step down in one of the bedrooms, they added the.
So in one of our bonus.
Yeah, it was an added bonus room.
There was a closet, and we had a laundry in a closet, but that was a little bit different because we had doors.
Yeah.
This is a little bit trickier because you can't. Obviously put doors.
Yeah. Which is
interesting that they didn't do like pocket doors or something.
Well, from
the beginning.
Sure. The thing about pocket doors people don't understand is a pocket door is really. So you have to have that section that the pocket door goes into. So let's say the pocket door is closed, and then you open it. When you open it, and you're hiding the door, the part that it's hiding into, that part is not a full solid structure. It's basically a hollow wall that it doesn't have much structure. So sometimes it's structure related.
That's true. But I almost feel like they should have thought about that as they were building, because obviously this was made when the house was built, 1960.
1960s. Okay, so we have an oven range on the right. We have on the left what looks like a dishwasher. So what I'm assuming, because that's as close of an image we see, is what I'm assuming is we have a parallel countertops going across in the kitchen, and then you have a washer and dryer smack dab in the middle, and there's a microwave right over that to just kind of to wrap it all together. And obviously it's plumbed for the exhaust for the dryer. There's a water line cover. Well, you can move it, but the question is like where, if you have the space. So ideally, if behind that wall is your garage, I would move that space into the garage if it's right behind it.
The other side,
In the very, and I'm sure it's very unlikely, but in an ideal world, if the wall behind it is your garage, I'd move it there. Your plumbing might only have to be moved like an extra foot or two. And that way, once it's moved there, yes, you have to do your laundry in the garage, but then you can convert this into a pantry, and you're winning, right? Because now you have space. Or you want to close that off, or put more cabinets there, whatever you want to do. Now
it's interesting, too.
If the question goes about how do I conceal this, because you said you had curtains that you used to put there to kind of hide that space. I am a big fan of taking like awkward closets and turning them into like beautifying them with like an accent door. So if this is your only option, if the garage is like knotted behind the wall is like another room or something like that, and or bathroom, so that's out of the question of moving. Personally, what I would do is I would take this situation and saying, okay, I would first of all put a piece of granite hovering a few inches above the washer and dryer, right? The granite that actually would match the kitchen countertops, okay?
Something similar. That I would have it like, so now you have a folding station over it. You can put your laundry baskets over it. Like, it looks like slightly as a continuation of it. Now, well, obviously you really have really nice washer and dryers, but in like, if we're talking the ideal world, I would almost like want to get like black washer and dryers to match, you know, the rest of the appliances in the kitchen like they have it here. But let's say that's not the case. You're not going to sell them to get black because these already look nice. I think we also have the same exact ones, but in a black. Okay, so I'd put those are really nice.
I would put black countertops, which is granite or quartz, whatever you have, over that. Okay, so now you have a countertop on top of it. Then I would create a nice backsplash behind it, right? So the same, maybe even kitchen tile behind it, so it matches your kitchen feel.
So it looks like it's a part of the kitchen.
Then I would get rid of the shelving unit that you have. On one side, you have laundry detergent. On the other side, you have a fire hydrant, or not fire hydrant. You have a
fire hydrant.
No, not fire hydrants on the ground.
Fire extinguisher.
Yes. We don't know how to put out fire. We don't know how to put out fire.
You guys.
And then you have a microwave. So what I would do is I would create cabinets that you can hide all that stuff. So you literally have your washer dryer, a nice countertop over it that matches your kitchen, and then everything's concealed except your microwave.
I would even get rid of the microwave and put it somewhere else.
Well, if you could. If you could. I don't know what the rest of the situation is, right?
If you can.
Because that's an electric one. That's an electric one that doesn't have an exhaust fan. That one doesn't look like it has an exhaust fan. It looks like you can put it on a kitchen countertop.
Yes. So if you can relocate that.
Well, and you can, because it doesn't have an exhaust fan. It's not one of those that hooks up to a fan. So that one looks like you can literally plant it on, let's say, this countertop here, which takes away from the countertop, which now separates your laundry business from your kitchen cooking business.
That's another thing is that's probably one of the reasons it makes it feel awkward, is because you have kitchen and laundry in the same.
Well, you're using both, right?
And you're using both.
And you have to access. Let's create a space where you only have to access that part if you're doing laundry.
Yeah.
Don't access that part to warm up the mac and cheese or kids' hot dog or something like that. Don't do that. Do that only like I need to do laundry. So move that microwave. Even if you put it in this, it takes away countertop space, but let it be. Make it a nice, really like an accent piece of laundry. Like once that, when you open the doors, which we're going to get to the doors, is like, like it's a very cool feeling where like I'm proud to open this section because this is a fancy, you know, area. Now the doors, I would go with, this is difficult because you don't have much space on the sides. So the bifolding doors, the two bifolding doors, I don't know if you'll have enough space to open from the sides here. So what I would go with two large French doors that would open up. I wouldn't make it any kind. Well, actually, that'd be kind of cool. I like the color of your floors with this rug. That's a pretty cool rug. And the black appliances and the black countertop and the white. So what I would possibly do. Okay, so I've done this before where somebody had a fire pit, like this big gas fire pit, a square one, and I made a top for it. They wanted to turn it into like a tabletop, and I made it a cleated looking tabletop where I just took a 1x3 inch white ash wood, and I stained it very lightly, which was almost the color of her floors. And it was this cleated kind of look that went on top, and you can put a cup of coffee, a plate, whatever you wanted, and it made it look really, really accent kind of feel. So what I would do here is I would make those kind of cleated doors, these slats. If you need a better description, if you look up our video for our bathroom remodel, the floating vanity that in our master bathroom, there's our doors
cabinets
our cabinet doors. They're kind of cleated or slatted or whatever you want to call them, but they're that color, and so you kind of have this natural wood feel look to these two French doors that open up to this really nice look.
Do you think the French doors would take too much space and cover
when they open? Yes, they would. But the way I'm thinking is,
if you're doing laundry, you're
doing laundry. Yeah. When you're cooking, you're cooking. You're not doing both. Yeah. Right. That's why the microwave needs to be taken out of there. I think if the microwave's kept in there and you do the doors, that's when you got an inconvenience, because when you open the doors, well, now you can't access your dishwasher. And now the doors are probably hitting your range right now, you know, your cooking range. So you got to separate those two spaces out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the microwave out there. Put a really nice accent French doors, like those doors that people go like, that looks really nice. And
once they open, it looks like a cool accent piece.
And when you open those doors, make it look like a really nice accent area. Like, be proud. Like, it looks like a really nice kitchen. So as you would be proud of your kitchen, because the appliances match the countertops and stuff like that. Be proud of now this laundry space that has to share that the same room. Basically.
I agree with making it look really cool and organized and functional with like the countertop on top of the appliances, and then doing cabinets. I feel like doing cabinets is such an important part of your laundry space, because you can hide all your detergent and stuff, and then it will look so sleek, especially if you take out the microwave.
Yes. Yep.
And then have all that stuff that you have on top of the washer and dryer right now in those cabinets. Yep. And then just have like a basket and some, you know, cute little things. But I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Because usually when you are doing laundry, it's laundry. And then when you're in the kitchen, it's closed.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for sending that in, Julia.
Yeah.
Let me close this out. All right. Let's see here. Next one is from Jared. You want to read this one?
Mm-hmm. Okay. My wife and I are currently in escrow.
Okay, sorry.
Name of our next podcast. My wife and I are currently in escrow on this house. It has a huge alcove above right when you walk in the front door. So that's the picture. That's the first picture that's attached. It is part of the formal living area, which we plan to use as a small sitting area. Then there's a second alcove next to the fireplace in the family room. It's a little odd because it is off-centered, so we are trying to figure out how to arrange the furniture and how to use the alcove since it seems off-center. Thank you.
First question I have is, what's an alcove?
It's like right here. It's like when it's like
like an inset? Like
an inset in the wall, alcove.
So is this question is how to decorate this section here that's off-centered?
Yeah, so he says it feels awkward to them because like, what do you put in it, basically, is what they're asking, because it's off-centered. So the fireplace is there. Obviously, they have the TV above the fireplace.
So it looks like the TV part is on. So you can almost divide the section into thirds, right? 1/3 of it has a cabinet, and then the other 2/3 of it has a TV and the fireplace.
Well, I think they put this cabinet in there, so
Okay.
they're asking how to decorate it, right?
Okay.
Or even if that should be in there, or was that already in there?
Well,
because
no,
those
that's put in
match.
there. That's
They
not
put
built in.
there,
That's
yeah.
not built in. Okay. Do you
So
want
it's
to go
not
first,
built
or do you
in.
want me to go first?
You can go.
You should-
I'll piggyback off you.
Okay. Okay. So the only reason I'm going to approach it this way is because, and this is not.
You're already wrong.
I'm already wrong. Okay. So I'm wrong. You're next.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just.
Yeah. Whatever you're gonna say, Alex, shut up. So the only reason I'm gonna say this is because I pay attention to builds. You pay attention to style, right? From the building perspective, what I've noticed, your parents done that when their multi-million-dollar house. I've seen this when I worked for your dad when I did granite.
A lot of people do this off-center thing.
It's an off-center thing where there is the fireplace is almost like dead center, and then there is this built-in section on the sides. So what I've realized is a lot of these builders are creating these houses intentionally within the last
even recently. So
before 8 years within the
Yeah.
last 5 to 8 years, they would have the TV section not mounted in the center of everything.
because it's too high.
It's too high. They want to make a fireplace. They'd create this built-in. Usually, it's a built-in cabinet
With a space above.
with a space above, and the TV would go with, and it's skewed to the left or to the right of that wall.
Yes.
And
And
so
then on the other side, there might be just like open shelving or something.
Open shelving, right? And usually the space is equally matched. So what it would be is it would be dead center fireplace, a mantle over it, and then there would be cabinets on the bottom, on the left and the right, and then empty space up top. So it's up to you how you want to decorate it.
And then one side will have one big empty space for the TV,
Yep.
and the other side will have usually like shelving.
Shelving,
So it's
right?
off-centered,
Yep.
but really when you have a TV, they're thinking it won't look off-centered because you have this big TV and then decor.
And the way I interpret it in my brain is you're almost creating two spaces. Like our previous submission is like you have one space that's your cooking and you have another space that's your laundry, right? Though they're in the same room, create two different spaces of things. So I think the way these builders are doing here is you have your fireplace that's your entertainment. And then to the side of it, you have your TV that's entertainment. And you could either be like, I'm going to sit by the TV area or I'm going to sit by the fireplace area for entertainment. So personally, that's where I've seen the builds come out. If I was to move into this house with you, the way I would kind of envision that space is also don't put exercise equipment in where you're going to watch TV or have a fireplace. But okay, I really hope that's not your house because I don't want to be insulting. I hope this is a house you're just buying and you saw that. But anywho, I would put either a big couch, but you know how much I love sectionals. I would put a nice.
What they say, they're in escrow. So
They're in escrow, yeah. So it's not. Yeah, it's the house that's staged. I would put a nice, comfy sectional that faces the fireplace. I would put built-in cabinets where this built-in cabinet that's sitting there, which it looks like it has open doors. Anywho, I would build in some kind of built-in cabinet that's very neutral. And then on top of it or in the middle of it, I would hang up my TV. I would have a sectional that would go across
You would
facing.
hang a TV in the alcove?
In the alcove. I would hang the TV in the alcove. I'd have cabinets there below to hide the dish receiver, the Hulu, not the Hulu, but the Netflix or whatever you have for your Apple TV. Sorry, the Apple TV. Apple TV, the Google Chromecast, whatever you have, the PlayStation if you have kids, whatever. So facing that, I'd have a nice big coffee table that would be there. Hopefully the sectional, extends towards this section as well. So now you have this section. I would build a really nice, beefy mantle that you can put on top of it. And this is where maybe you decor where you take it away with that section. But that's how I would personally go with that. My only question is, I'm kind of curious about this wall to the left. It looks like it's got an entry door, but then it's got these like almost like shutters that goes from one room to the other. That's kind of complicated. I don't get that part. I don't get if it's shutters or is it just cleats or what's going on there. But regardless, I would have a nice sectional going there. What would you do?
It's kind of, yeah, this is an interesting space because it looks like there's a window right next to the alcove. But yeah, I think the off-centered look can throw you off for sure. My only issue with putting the TV in it is, what if they have a bigger TV than the actual alcove? Like, see how this TV is bigger than that? What if that's their...
I would tear down the house and I would build the house around the TV.
Around the TV.
You know why I don't think that TV is bigger than alcove? This is, and just like all
wide
of...
angle.
It's a wide angle lens. All of the real estate photography you ever go into, they're all using wide angle lenses.
Maybe so. Maybe it's hard to tell.
That looks like an 80-inch TV. And I know fireplaces. Here's the way I kind of look at it. That TV looks stretched out, and I look at that fireplace. That fireplace, I don't know how to make sense of it, but that TV looks stretched out. Unless that's an 80-inch TV, which...
It looks huge.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if that alcove looks like it could fit a 60-inch TV, like an average person TV, you're not going to put a 9-foot TV in there. But
I think that would be that's probably initially what the builder had thought is have that little area for the TV. Because that's exactly what you said. That's what they do now even. Yeah. If you can do that with your TV, or even if you don't have a TV, I would do a lower media cabinet, like you said, cabinets that are just like
on the ground
at the bottom, and
base cabinets. Yes, is the right
name
for them.
Yeah, something that is like neutral. You said matches either white or grayish color, and then have either the TV above it, or if you choose not to do a TV, even like artwork, above it, and then some decor. And then if you, the mantle itself, if you do like a really cool big mirror, that's what I would do. If you don't do the TV above the mantle and you do it in the alcove, cool big mirror or something, and then decor. And then you could even throw artwork on the other side of the fireplace.
And then, but what would you put below it?
I would just do artwork here because it would.
So you put mirror on top there and then artwork here?
I don't know. I feel like there's something missing right there.
Okay, so here's what I would spin this way. If you were going to match what the builder's intent was to put a TV in that, cool, do that. But if you're like, I don't want to put a TV there. I want the TV to be dead center. I want to buy the biggest TV they have, and I want to put it right over the mantle. And if that's where you're going with, and that's okay if you are, because like there's plenty of people who do that.
Ours is above the mantle,
right?
Or no, but ours is like.
No, it's not.
You built around.
I built a media center
around the TV.
I would make that section into be like base cabinets and turn it into like maybe a bar on top or something like that. Do the big TV on top, right?
What would you do in this empty space though?
On the right, I think
because you need to add something there that creates almost like a
100%,
symmetry.
100%. Yeah. I would start that section with a good like chair, like a nice good accent chair, and then I think behind it maybe a little bit of artwork or something like that,
like even some kind of little collage. It doesn't have to be.
It's tough because in the ideal world you'd want to almost build out that section to create two cabinets insets to create, but
because of that alcove you can't, like there's
make two alcoves,
make another one, just build
make an alcove, make another alcove.
That's hard. That's a hard one because
I've never used the word alcove in the same sentence so often.
Yeah, I know.
Camel toes and alcove. That's what the name of this podcast is.
Or you could even do just like a really tall plant, and it will take up that space.
Sure.
And then it won't be like so much square, because like obviously if you do art, it'll be too much square patterns in the same wall. So if you do a TV above the fireplace, like you said, like a little bar decor area there, do like a really tall plant, I think it will look really good because it will create something artistic in this blank space. Yeah, because it's just like a blank space right there. But you're right about putting a couch facing the fireplace too. For sure, that might be what's throwing it off too.
And get that exercise out of there. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate your submission. And let's finish up with the last one Man, we're doing 5. That's cool. Thanks everybody for saying this in.
Yeah,
this is actually really, I think this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope this is helpful to you.
Oh
guys.
yeah.
You guys aren't like,
I hope you guys are like,
gosh,
that's
they're
stupid.
so stupid.
You want to read this one?
Okay. Hi. Hey guys.
Hey
guys. Love the podcast content you guys put up. This space in our kitchen hallway is in the kitchen/hallway to the master bedroom, and I don't quite know what to put on the wall. It's a big space of wall with really nothing on it. My wife and I have thought about a few things but can't decide. Thanks for what you guys do and keep up putting great content out there. Okay, so this is the wall. It looks like it's a dark blue color in the hallway by the, it looks like kitchen.
That's a door that will
into the master. They said this goes into the master, and this looks like the kitchen area. Just a blank wall. I mean, right off the top, I would say art.
Let me look at it real quick. Because I want to say art first.
Yeah.
So,
but what kind?
This door goes into the master. That's the kitchen.
Kitchen, yeah. So it's like this hallway. It's basically a hallway.
Yeah, it definitely.
And obviously,
like so I'm curious, what's in front of it here? Is it like a dining section, or is that a pantry?
No, it's a kitchen.
No, but what's right? Like, so this way. What's this way?
Oh, let me see. Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
yeah.
So
it
looks it looks like a narrow walkway.
So that door might be a pantry, yeah.
It might be, yeah. I think you're right.
Because it's the kitchen for sure.
And it's facing this way. So I bet you anything, a little bit closer this way, there's an other cabinet that, like a parallel kind of, because that's facing. It looks like the sink is maybe right here.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a...
Okay, so you said, so go ahead. You go first on this one.
Okay, so I think like right off the bat, yeah, it's an empty space and it's already an accent wall, so that's fun. I would do...
That's fun.
It's fun. Because you have so much blank space, I would do obviously artwork, but I would almost do that symmetrical look where like we have this downstairs on a huge wall in our room. I have 4 big like 16 by 20 frames, 4 and 4. So there's 2 rows of them. And they're just symmetrical. I would either do that and make it like a symmetrical look, which looks really good. And you can either put like pictures or artwork in it, or do a really cool collage of artwork, which would really look cool too. Because then because you have that little, what is it called? Pony wall? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
This?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's kind of right in the space too. You can do a collage that kind of like a big here and then kind of work your way out. Either one I think would look really good because it's such a wide open space.
Yeah.
And then obviously, yeah, with the frames you can do your own pictures of like family pictures or artwork. I don't know what you guys were thinking of, but that's what I would do. What would you do?
Well, first question I would ask is what's behind that wall? If behind that wall, it's hard to say. I'm willing to put my money on that behind the wall is more bedrooms. Or maybe behind that wall is like a master bathroom or something like that. If that's the master bedroom, maybe behind the wall is like the bathroom or something like that. The reason I always ask what's behind it is like, can you create an inset where it's like a built-in section? Like sometimes they create these walls where there'll be like a couple of feet of empty space, right? Just for like a structural thing. So if you can create an inset that's like maybe like 5 feet wide where you have like 2 base cabinets go into it and then a back wall and the cabinets on top, then cool. You have like a butler's pantry like in your kitchen. That's more cabinet space. Let's say you're not living in an ideal, scenario and that's not the case. The follow-up question I would ask is how much space, well, it doesn't look much, between the door hinges and this navy blue wall. It looks like it's just a couple of inches. I was hoping you would have maybe like a foot. If it's a foot, you could have this really nice, long, narrow cabinet and then something over it.
What are you talking about, inches?
Well, like from this hinge to this wall, if there was, it looks like it's like only 6 inches or 4 inches. You know what I mean? So like, meaning what I'm saying is between the hinge and that wall, there's not much space.
Oh,
so,
what would you do there?
Well, my brain always goes to like, how do we create more cabinet space and more countertop space?
Yeah.
So it looks like that's not the case unless there's nothing behind that wall and you can create an inset. And if you can
Well, they're talking about this wall.
well, that's what I'm saying is like if there's nothing behind that wall, knock that section out, put a cabinet in, kind of like we did with our butler's pantry, where like the closet was, and then cool, you have more countertop space. But if there is a bedroom or a bathroom behind it and you can't do that, I think what you're going with is a certain type of decor on it. I think that's really your only option is a collage, something that, you know, is like a statement piece, you know.
Yeah, I would do like, because it's like a blue wall, I think like a black framed.
Yeah, I think black framed, white, what
matting.
This section right here.
Matting.
Matting, that's what it's called?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just throwing it out there, Target has 16 by 20 frames that I bought. Then they're really cool, sleek. They're exactly like this, but black. And they have the matting already in there. And so the actual art size is, I think, 8 by 10. And yeah, you can get them at Target and make a really cool symmetrical if you're into that, or find a bunch of different frames and do. But I think black would look
yeah,
really cool.
I think that's exactly what
Yeah,
really.
I mean, when there's an empty wall like that, I always go towards that.
Yeah.
I think it always looks really good.
What I would just learned about this segment, we can call it flip the space, is that I always want to tear down a wall.
You do.
And you always want to put art.
Yeah. Because art makes it.
Really,
yeah.
I mean, but first of all, Josh, thanks for submitting it, and everybody else who submitted these things to the segment.
Yeah, that was fun to see the spaces and talk through it.
And I think what I've learned over the years, and I hope maybe this kind of becomes helpful, is end of the day, you ask yourself, what is the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, right? The best case scenario, if there's nothing behind the wall, you tear it down, you create countertop space, and there's more room for activities, if you want to say that. Worst case scenario, there's no room behind it, and you put art on.
Yeah,
you
could always put artwork on anything, and so that's always a good last case scenario.
Yeah, and so that sometimes helps a lot. Like sometimes it helps with space and design is what is it that I cannot do? I can't do this. I can't tear this wall. I can't do that. So you end up almost getting like cornered into getting pushed into a corner where you're like, well, decoration is about the only thing I can do. There's no reno stuff that I can do here. So, all right, let's settle it. But let's now start using the brain activity of like, how can we make this the best decorated space as opposed to the best renovated space? That's the way at least my brain works.
And there's plenty of spaces we have even too, where there's literally nothing we could do but put artwork up because there's stuff behind the wall or it just doesn't work. Yeah.
Cool. Hey guys, I am humbled the fact that we got all these submissions for our first ever episode of Flip the Space. We're definitely going to do more of these. I want to.
Did you just come up with that?
Just right here from the hip. Yeah. From the hip. Yeah. Flip the space, man. Or maybe it'd be like this. Maybe we can do like, because, you know, it's maybe punctuation is very important. You go, man, flip this space. You know?
Flip this space.
But then you bleep out flip, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, bleep this space. But
so you can go either way.
Yeah. So we'll try to do this once a month. Share the word. Please. Wherever you listen to this podcast, Apple or Spotify, if you can rate it, do a comment, please do that. If you watch this, like, comment, share it with your friends, subscribe, very importantly, but please spread the word, because that's how we're gonna get this thing to grow and put out useful content for you guys. But we'll definitely do Flip the Space segment at least once a month, because this is fun.
And if you want to comment on and give some, I guess, ask some questions about like what you would like to see us talk more about,
like camel toe
or vasectomies
or nippling out, or like
if there's something condoms, really interesting,
should we be wearing that?
Like if there's something interesting that you would love to have questions answered about, like, and this is separate than sending in submissions for Flip the Space.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking, to have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Not that we need it, but
Yeah.
we always have stuff to talk about. But
Yeah.
it'd be fun to, actually talk about things that you guys are interested in.
Cool.
So
She just double.
I just did the finger guns, you guys.
Double finger guns. All right, guys.
Okay.
Good night. Appreciate the listen. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.